We got all our parts in, and we just got 3 quarts of their Napa full synthetic 75-140. And here is the cross shaft bolt set screw. This right here is Napa solution, and like the help section. I think 6351023. And then here is the Napa gear and axle set kit that we got, and it is made by Richmond. I do have to open it up. Let me bring it over here first. I'll set it right here. Knife. Open it. And this should have everything we need to do this, other than ring gear and pinion. Oh wow, it comes with a gasket, which is nice. So here's everything. Gasket maker, it's got the marking compound, I think thread locker behind there. Your bearings, your shims, your gasket. Looks like a crush washer, bearings, bolts, your little brush. Gaskets are zip tied, and there's your nut right there. So this is a pretty complete set for what we're going to be doing. If you're doing gears, you'll have to purchase gears, but you can kind of get whatever gear you really want on that aspect. I'm just kind of cutting this open without cutting anything. So let me get all this out, and then we will start putting everything together. Only other thing I do have to do is I got to cut the bearing off of the pinion and get it pressed off and on and all that stuff, but I'm going to show y'all as I'm doing all this stuff. So I got the bearing just kind of on there for right now, and we're going to use one of the old bearing races that we cut off. Just kind of set up there centered, put that on top of it so it's pressing on the other bearing race on the inside, not the cage, because you can mess up the cage. And then we're going to put a plate on here. Yeah. Okay. I have to set it all up, and then I'll bring y'all back. But we're going to put a plate on there, and then we'll put a impact socket, and we'll just press it on. We got it all situated, and then we're just going to press it on there. If you don't have a press, what you can do is you can take it to a machine shop, and they can press them on and off for you if you would like. Just double check it if you are doing it yourself, that you're not going on crooked or any of that stuff. I just like to put a little pressure on it. There's our race. Just make sure that they spin, and we should be good. I'm going to clean it off again after we do that, just because it can be a little dirty. And you'll know which bearings it is because they will be the only two with the same bearing numbers on these, and these are Koyo bearings. So there's that. I do have to remove the bearing on the pinion, and before I put that on, I will show you the shims and stuff. And if you're reusing all your ring gear and pinion, you just use the same shims and everything on that. But let me cut this off, and then I'll bring y'all back. Got the bearing off now, and what I want to show y'all is there is a shim underneath here, if I can get it off. And you do not want to lose that. Leave that shim underneath there, especially if you're reusing the same bearing. And then you're going to want to put this bearing on just like that, and we're going to use the old bearing piece as well to press it on. And it's not this one, it's this one right here. So Put it on just like that, right there. Put that on top, and then we're going to flip this upside down and put it through these little pieces right there, and then we're actually going to press on the gear itself.
Okay.
Thank you. So what I just did there was drive it in with a driving tool. It was the bearing race right here. And you just want to make sure that it's in there all the way up against the lip in there. And you can go on the inside of the differential to see if it's seated all the way around, which is what I'm about to do. And I've already done the inside, and you'll just need a different size for the inside. I'm gonna reach my hand in. I don't know how much I can see. Set the bearing up. Put the crush washer on first. Then we have our bearing and oil slinger. Set that up there. Now this might be a pretty tight fit when you do this. And then got my seal right here.
I got the factory cigarette lighter ordered, but it was hard to find this, so I just went out there and junkyard cut one off because they used it for like
Everything.
97 to 2023 everything. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay it over here.
Yeah, just set it on my box somewhere and I'll put it up and mark it.
Yeah, that way they said it should be in tomorrow afternoon. So.
Oh, okay.
But I just unplugged the one for now, that way it didn't kill the battery overnight again. So I know that battery's good, so we can put it on the charger.
So you just saw me stick the flange on a little bit, and then you can actually start the nut, and you can use your impact to run it in and pull it up a little bit, but just kind of shake it every once in a while to make sure that you're not actually crushing the crush sleeve, because you don't want to do that just yet, because you're going to have to measure preload on this thing, and I haven't looked up what preload is. So I'm just going to start running this down until I get all the free play out of the pinion bearing and the crush sleeve, and then whenever I get ready to start torquing it down and like running it and crushing the sleeve and getting the preload, I'll come back and show y'all how you do that stuff. So I just looked up preload specs, and you can see I got it, no play in it really, and it should be 16 to 29 inch-pounds. Now the way we're doing this, we're using a dial torque wrench. It is a 1/4 inch, and I just stepped it up from a 1/4 to 3/8 to 1/2 inch, so I can use my 27. And with no differential in it, you're just going to turn it. Like right now we're at like 2 inch-pounds. You're just going to turn it until it gets to 16 to 29 inch-pounds. But we still got to tighten it up a little bit more, so just tighten it up a little bit. And a lot of people like to do this manually. I've always done it with an impact just to make it easier, because they do make holding tools you can hold this with, but I just use an impact, just hammer on it, you know, a couple seconds at a time, check it, and if it's not good, just go a little bit tighter. So I'm just going to go back and forth until I get the correct preload, and then after we do that, we will put the differential gear, ring gear, and the tone ring back together on the carrier and start putting everything back together. So I just tightened it 2 more times, and we went from 2 inch-pounds And now we are at 23 inch-pounds. And that's what we want, anywhere between 16 and 29. And we're almost dead in the center on that, which is really good. That's kind of what I would like to see, is about perfect in the center. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the tone ring and the ring gear back on this. I will show you the tone ring because I haven't shown you that yet, I don't think. And I'll give you the part number, and then I'll let you know what the torque specs are on all the stuff. So I got a little bit of battery life left on this battery. So if it cuts off, I'll have to change batteries. But what you just saw in that last clip was me doing the torque spec. So I got a little bit of battery life left on this one. If it cuts off, I have to redo it maybe, or start back from where it ended. But the last clip you saw was me torquing down the ring gear, and I used the ring gear to actually pull the bolts on the ring gear to actually pull it up on the carrier, and those torqued to 70 to 85 foot-pounds. I went to 82 just because they're new bolts. I want to put a little bit more torque down on them than if they were older ones, so I did go to 82. Now we're going to go ahead and start putting the carrier inside of here, and I'm just going to use the shims that come with it, and then we'll check pattern on it and see how everything looks. So I got it in, and well, I've already torqued it, but I'm just going to go and torque it one more time. And these torques, same thing as the ring gear, 70 to 85 foot-pounds, and I'm doing the same thing, torquing them to 82. Alright, and we got some pretty good backlash, it feels like, but I will test that. I'll probably have to do that tomorrow because it's about the end of the day. I won't be able to finish this today, but we got it pretty much where we just need to check the backlash, put the axles in, put fluid in it, put the gasket on, and do all that. So I have my dial indicator set up now. We got it set on 0 right there. And what we're going to do, we're going to check backlash on this, and specs are 8 to 15 thousandths. So you just want to set it up. I got the magnetic base, just attach it there, put the needle on one of the gears, and you just want to rock it back and forth. And you're just going to measure what the in play on that is. So we're looking at 14 thousandths. A little on the higher side, but still within specs. So I'm content with that right there. And even if it was 16, I wouldn't, I'll be honest, if it was between 16 and 20, I still wouldn't have gone back and changed it, just because one, it's not too much, and it is used gears too. So if it was new gears, I would go back and redo it, but since we're in spec, I'm happy with this. So now next step I'm going to do is go ahead and throw my axles back in. I still have to clean up the cover right there, and then I can put the gasket on, clean up this face a little bit more. I'm going to clean this out just a little bit, tighten that down. Now don't go crazy on that, it does have Loctite on it, but don't go crazy on this because it will break. Like I showed you on the other one, it did break. I guess somebody over torquing it or something the last time somebody was in here. I don't know, I ain't gonna blame anybody, but it can happen. But we're just going to pull this out, pull the pin out, then we're going to slide the axles in all the way, put your little C-clip pieces in here. There's some C-clips right there. Put those back in, pull the axle out until it seats, put the cover on, start filling it up. But whenever I get ready to put one of the axles in, I'll go ahead and put one in. I'll show you what the other one looks like. But whenever I get ready to do that, I will bring y'all and set y'all up and let y'all see how all that happens. So I got the passenger side axle in, and now I'm going to do the driver side. I have the axle, as you can see right there, just kind of in the tube. And the way you're going to do this, you're just going to push it till it kind of goes and lines up with the splines. It's got to go a little bit further. I think we're in there. Just kind of stick your finger in here, yep, and just push it in as far as you can go. And then you're just going to grab one of the C-clips and you'll just stick it down on there. And I know I didn't show me taking these out because I wasn't really expecting to do the video, but basically whenever you go to take the axle out, you're going to push it in, let the C-clip fall out, and then you can retrieve it, and then you'll just slide your axle out. That going in on the top. There's a little groove in there that it'll sit in. Once you set it down in there, you can push it with your finger and you should be good to go. Now we're going to put our cross shaft pin in. Here's our pin. Just try not to move it too much, because you will get spider gears out a little bit, and getting them lined up can sometimes be a chore. And you kind of got it started. Like I said, this one is a 5/16. I think the newer Fords are either an 8 or 7 millimeter, if I remember correctly. Once you get in far enough, the little 4-inch ratchet will actually fit in here. And like I say, you don't want to go too tight. Just a little bit. I think the torque specs on that one bolt is like 9 foot-pounds or something like that. I'll look it up and make sure and put it in the description, or let y'all know before I close out the video. But it doesn't take a whole lot. One, because it's got the Loctite, and two, you don't want to break it off. Like I said, the other one was broke off. But now I just got to clean up the pan, and then or the cover, clean that up. Then after we do that, we can put the gasket on there and go ahead and start buttoning it all together. So let me clean it up. We'll be right back. Now that I got the pan all cleaned up, I put the gasket with a little bit of silicone, not much, on here, and I'm just going to put one bolt on the top just to kind of hold it. And don't forget, you go kind of under the brake line. Just going to start it, and I'm just going to go around, start all of them, and go ahead and start tightening them down. I'm kind of probably skip through some of this, so y'all not watching me put every bolt in there, but I will show me like tightening down probably the last 2 or 3 bolts. So I'm on like the last 2 bolts, and I'm tightening them down, and once I get these 2 tightened, I am going to go back over every one of them just to be safe. More than likely they will need to be re-stretched a little bit. Let's do this last one more time. Alright, and there we go. I'm going to clean this off, and I'll show y'all where the fill plug is over here, and just going to kind of push that down. And I think it takes like 3 quarts, I believe it is, of fluid, but we'll see. I got 3. If I need more, I can go grab more, and I'll let you know exactly how much we needed. So right here on the front is the fuel port. And it just takes, I think, a 3/8 ratchet. God, she's a little tight. And I should have checked it before I actually tore everything apart, because this won't open. You don't want to tear it apart. And right there is where we fill it up at. Put a drain pan underneath, because once you get close to filling it up, it is going to run out, and once it runs out, that's when you know that it's full. So we have some 75 140, and we're just going to squeeze her in here. And this is going to take a little bit, so I don't know if you can see in there, but you can see the fluid. It took 4 quarts right here. I actually had a soft bag of Valvoline and took 4 of them to fill it after I did this. I would say get 5 to be on the safe side if you don't have any, so just do that, get 5, and that way it's either better to overshoot and you can take it back than to undershoot and have to drive it without fluid. But she is right there at it. Like I said, I don't know how well y'all can see up in there, but took 4. So now I'm gonna put the plug back in it, and that is pretty much doing the whole job. But I know y'all can't see anything because I took my light away. I'm just putting the plug back in. Plug is back in. I'm gonna clean it off, and then we'll take it for a test drive. But this is pretty much, you know, putting new bearings and on the pinion, new crush washer, resetting everything, you know, all that good stuff. But if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comment section. I'll get to them as soon as possible. If you need any help on anything, even if it don't pertain to this vehicle, just hit me up. I'll see what I can do and try to help you out as much as possible. But getting close to 5,000, we're going to be doing that giveaway at 5,000. Send all my other videos. If you haven't seen them, go check out some of them. In the last probably 2 weeks, I've talked about the giveaway of what I'm going to do, and once I get closer, we'll go more into detail. But just want to say thank you to all my subscribers, Patreons, all of them. Do help out the channel, and I will have some custom content maybe coming up soon. I did just pick me up a C10, and might have some interesting stuff on that once I get started on it. I'm kind of in the middle of a move type thing right now, so that's the reason I haven't been doing any project stuff. But if y'all like the content, hit like, subscribe, notification bell, and like always, torque this tight. Y'all have a great day.